to Leaders Talk. I'm Swarnika Porwal, your host, and today we have with us Mr. Rupesh Bhargav, who works as a consultant in the pharmaceutical, nutraceuticals, and biopharmaceuticals industry. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
And this is Dr. Devendra Gautam, founder of Great Human University and chairman of Navi Mumbai Chamber of Business and Industries. Hello, Dr. Gautam. How are you today?
Fine, thank you, Swarnika.
Our today's episode will be focused on transforming research and innovation in the pharmaceutical industry. I would now like to hand over the show to Dr. Gautam to start off with our first question. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Swarnika, and I would like to welcome Rupesh for our this leaders talk. And before we start, Rupesh, why not you give me a brief about our your expertise to our audience who are live on social media and listening this talk show. So it will be a good introduction to them, and then we can start our formal talks.
Sure. Thanks a lot for your invite, Dr. Gautam. I really appreciate that. Uh, I have been in the industry for more than 3 decades now, and out of which, of course, 26, 27 years I have been working with Sanofi, and I was a senior director there. And then later I moved to Glenmark as a vice president, looking after a very large cluster there, and then moved as a managing director with Bessels Healthcare, a Belgium-based organization. And then my last assignment was with Bharat Serum as the chief operating officer for the India formulations business. So it's been quite an interesting journey, and over the last 1 decade or so, I have been in the senior leadership role. Uh, and of course, having spent more than 3 decades, obviously I got an opportunity to work in certain markets like the US, the China, the Philippines, and I think it has been a great learning. And 5 years has been in hardcore vaccines, and that's been my passion. And so anything to do with vaccines, biopharmaceuticals, pharmaceuticals, whatever little I have learned over the last 3 decades, I would be too happy to share with the audience today.
Great. It's really wonderful. You have really great experience in all these medical and pharma sectors. As you know, Rupesh, now, since March onwards, especially in India or all over the world, we are suffering from this pandemic. And everybody is literally locked down in their home. Even
Right.
in India, you see, unlock is there, unlock 1, 2, 3 is going on, but hardly people are ready to go outside and do their normal day-to-day work. Even I remember in my last session, I was talking about the eateries and restaurants. You see, they are all open, but hardly any people are going to eat outside or be outside unless they have so urgency that they cannot survive or something like that. Then only they go outside. I think the fear is very clear, and till any vaccine comes in the picture. First question I would like to ask from you, being an expert, when you see in the world context and in the India context both, we are going to see the vaccine for this COVID-19 coming out.
Well, Dr. Gautam, I think let me touch to your first point. I think, yes, there is a lot of fear psychosis which has creeped into the people. And I would say that, primarily it is because of the media hype. And since the European countries and the US also were a part of the entire pandemic. So obviously, the kind of media hype that has happened, uh, yes, in fact, we really need to take, precautions. There are no second opinion on that. But I think India has gone through such kind of situations in the past also. And in the recent past, in the year 2008, swine flu had stuck very badly in our country. And
Right.
I distinctly remember during those days when we had come up with a swine flu vaccine. I think during that time, more than 35 to 40,000 people had died. And
Right.
since there was no media hype, people were not even aware of it. So I think over a period of time, I think one good thing that has happened and which should continue for the next 6 months is that the social distancing norms should be maintained. People should wear masks. and obviously people need to sanitize themselves. So I think that's the basic precautions, which is a normal hygiene protocol in most of the other European countries. But
Right.
I think India has learned the hard way through this pandemic. Uh, I would say that yes, we should still go out, and we should take adequate precautions to go out, because if we don't go out, then
Mhm.
obviously the antibody formation will not happen. And
Right.
if that does not happen, and you being at home, you will become more vulnerable to this virus in the coming months. So it is also important that somewhere over a period of time, you will have to unlock yourself, take precautions, but you will still have to move out, because that's going to be the way of life over the next
Mhm.
couple of years now. Because I don't see anything, completely, going away in the next 6 to 9 months or 1 year or so. So this is here to stay, and I think as the reports are saying that the mutant strains are also coming in. So now,
Mhm.
if the mutant strains are coming in, and I think that was the report which came in from the Malaysia, that
Mhm.
there are mutant strains which are even more dangerous, which is 10 times more dangerous.
Okay.
Now, the problem is that this is again a very untrue story, and the reason is very simple. On one hand, people say that it was a genetically engineered virus, and on the
Mhm.
other hand, people talk about mutation. And now both the things cannot go together, because if it was a genetically modified virus, then
Mhm.
obviously mutation will not happen. And
Right.
and if the mutation is happening, that means it was not a genetically engineered virus. So that is number one. Coming to the vaccine today, there are 150 candidates in the world who are actually trying to develop a vaccine. But
Mhm.
I think there are 9 serious contenders, those who will come out with vaccine over the period of next 6 months to 2 years.
Okay.
And and these, in fact, if you want to, if the audience wants to have a detail of this vaccines, I have already posted it on my LinkedIn,
Mhm.
by the topic of the vaccination rat race.
Mhm.
So people can go through that. In fact, there is a elusive article on these 9 vaccines. But I
Mhm.
think the most uh, uh, nearing one is, of course, the Oxford vaccine, which is
Right.
being developed in the help of with AstraZeneca. And
AstraZeneca.
this vaccine will come to India, and obviously it will get manufactured and filled in Serum Institute of India at Pune.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
And the Bill Gates Foundation has also funded that company in terms of the infrastructure. And the recent article, which clearly said that they are ready to produce 100 million doses a year.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, if but there are riders to it. If
Mhm.
100 million doses is what Serum Institute of India is going to produce, then
Mhm.
obviously 50% of the quantity has to go to the undeveloped countries.
Right.
And the 50% that will come to India, I
Mhm.
think the first priority would be the healthcare workers, the corona warriors, and the senior citizens and the kids.
Right.
But still, as I said, these are early stages, because uh, I have never heard of any vaccine being developed in a period of 9 months to 1 year. So
Right.
obviously, there has been a lot of things which must have gone through, and there must be a lot of things which would have gone unnoticed also, because vaccine takes minimum 5 to 7 years to really hit the market. And here we are talking about the vaccine, being built in a year's time. And I think the efficacy data is actually yet to be tested, because efficacy, data can only be tested provided it is given to the individuals.
Right.
Now, whether this is going to be efficacious for a period of 9 months, it is going to be efficacious for a period of 2 years, is anybody's guess.
Yes.
I firmly believe that it should not happen like a flu vaccine, where you actually get the strains changed every 6 months.
Mhm.
And if somebody has to get protected against flu, ideally he should be taking a flu shot every year,
My God.
and which is the normal recommendation of WHO also.
Right.
But on the other hand, and one thing which I would like to tell my audience is that India is a tropical country.
Mhm.
That means in normally it is the southern hemisphere vaccine which is being used in India,
Mhm.
but there is a northern hemisphere vaccine which is being used in Europe. and India can actually use both. So
Mhm.
ideally, somebody wants to get protected, he should use 2 vaccines every 6 months in India for flu.
Right.
Now, if
Right.
that similar kind of a situation comes up with COVID-19 vaccine, I
Mhm.
don't know how many people would be able to really afford.
Yes, that is the very important point I think you have raised it. Like but still, see, the question was like that. The question point you raised it at, if this vaccine is going to be like in another flu vaccine, how it is going to be affordable for a country like India, where seasons are very tropical, as you mentioned it already, and even this AstraZeneca or the serum, what they are going to do, they're going to produce 50 million. This 25 million is going to go to India. How it is going to be fulfilling the need of this Indian people with a huge population? That is the real case scenario. How you feel it is looking logical that something great will happen by end of this year, or even but Serum Institute have a capacity to produce in a year. So everything is not, even they start producing it, say in December, they are not going to produce all 50 million in December only.
No, that will not
It
happen.
is going to be 3-4 million per month. So the 50th million will be in next December.
Right.
So, of course, you read the priority, but till that, I think till the next year, December, we have to be keeping and maintaining the social distance. And one more point you raised is that you cannot keep yourself locked into the room for a longer time. We have to
Yeah,
go and
because it is going to hit you psychologically also.
yeah. So, what is the reason you feel that we should be? One is the psychological reason. Is there any medical reason also?
See, but medical reason is that if you get exposed, because like right now you would have seen a recent survey done shows that 57% of the people in slums have
Mhm.
already developed, antibodies against this virus.
Mhm.
Whereas in the high-rise buildings, it is only 16% of the people. That
Mhm.
means there could be a possibility that me and you also may have got impacted with COVID, but because
Mhm.
of our immunity, we did not have the symptoms, and we have developed antibodies for this virus.
Right.
So what is really important is that, yes, you have to go out, because if more and more people will get exposed, then the chances of herd immunity in this country will come faster. And if that herd immunity comes faster, then obviously less people will get impacted as compared to the number of cases that what we are seeing today.
See, one of the very from a people's perspective, middle class people, what is the population of the India? You see, two ministers of Uttar Pradesh government has died because of this corona. And
Right.
of course, they were aged. Chetan Sharma was one of that. Chetan Chauhan, sorry, he died yesterday. Day before yesterday, he was an old guy. But another few days back, another minister was also a lady minister who died. So people feel that a person like who is very powerful, very affluent, they have all the facilities. If they can die because of the corona, what about the normal people who are it is very difficult for them to think of, and that is the biggest factor of fear in a person all the middle class people in India. We say that the majorities are there, and that's why they are afraid. Whenever we talk, even our relatives, our family, our mommy and papa, everybody they say that don't go outside, be locked in, and so how we should believe that okay, what are the additional precaution we can take? Of course, one is that you can boost your immune system, you can do some exercise, but again, if you are not going to do outside, how you are going to do exercise? Again, I have seen some research while doing the exercise or walking on the road or doing some brisk walk with a mask, reduces the intake of oxygen in your body, and that impacts again to the body. These are all a story keep on coming, and we are not expert, but how you feel that in this type of things and more irrelevant things keep on coming on social media. which again I will not talk about because we are not talking those relevant thing here on this our leaders talk. But from your expertise, how this contradictory things are going to be accepted by the normal आम आदमी जो बोलते हैं अपने इंडिया में, how they can think of this and they can believe on this, or they can start going out or putting themselves for building immune system or social distancing, and up to what level they are allowed to take the risk.
Okay. See, first of all, I think let's also put one fact together that every two individuals will not have the same immunity.
True.
Okay. So obviously, it also depends on the internal immunity and the immunity. What I have seen in the last couple of months, that guys who could not even afford fruits earlier on are only eating fruits. Now that fruit eating will not increase your immunity overnight. That's for
right.
sure.
Right.
Secondly, I think what is also important is that most of these cases which have got highlighted, apart from the age relation, they also had the comorbid conditions. Now, comorbid conditions could be your hypertension, your diabetes, your asthmatic, your kidney element, or in some cases, plus India is also a vast country in terms of also unknown AIDS cases or HIV cases.
Right.
Now these are all immunocompromised patients.
Mm-hmm.
If they are attacked, because and to be very honest, such cases go undiagnosed in our country.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of people, those who would have died, but everything has got labeled to corona.
Yes.
But in reality, it may not be so.
Yeah.
Secondly, the kind of data, meddling which is happening. A couple of days back, in our own Maharashtra, they had to recompile the entire data, and suddenly we saw that the number of deaths from 1 week to the another week has grown by 55%.
Right.
Now, obviously, these are some of the things which are only going to create a fear psychosis in everybody's mind.
Right.
But as I've said earlier also, and if I take my own example, I go out for a morning walk every day. I go out for a evening walk every day. But I do wear a mask. And when I come back home, I do sanitize myself, and I regularly eat healthy food. I'm not saying expensive food. I'm saying healthy food.
Healthy food.
Now, healthy food could be, your green vegetables, your
Right.
fruits, your milk. And for us, for all Indians, you have your haldi at home. You
Yeah.
have hot water at home.
Right.
Drink all these kind of normal precautions, because the whatever has been told and said,
Right.
it is also important to keep your nasal system and the tracheal system absolutely neat and clean.
Right. See,
Second point,
yeah.
Dr. Wadam, before I forget, I would like to mention here is that we also should not forget that if you are not going out and if you are not exposing yourself to the atmosphere, then you will never be able to develop the antibodies for this virus.
Yeah, that is there.
And if the antibody doesn't get developed and you are absolutely cocooned in your own house, then the chances are that you will be more vulnerable to this virus as compared to the normal individuals.
Right. That very true point you said, Rupesh. I do agree that at least people should start their living by having a good early morning walk, and if they are more fearful, they can go more early. I think to avoid the crowd, if you are fearful, okay, a lot of people are walking on the same street, so how I can go? So you get up more early, and you can go more early, but that you should do some exercise and build up immune system. See, one of our majority of our Navi Mumbai Chambers members are, of course, SME companies and all, and they operate from the smaller offices in Mumbai. And you see, majority of the SME have the smaller congested offices, not very lavish offices. Even the multinational company have the big lavish offices, but inside it is congested only. So, how even government has allowed that, okay, they can start opening the office, they can start operating with 50% employee or 25% employee, depending upon the sector and all that. But I see still, unless they desperately need to interact with somebody, people are very afraid. Like, the commercial complex where I have my office, like, sometime I go there, even I don't go permanently there and sit there. I see rarely anybody is coming and opening the offices. And the purpose is like that key, like, when they feel that key, when you are coming in a commercial center or offices, like, even with 25% each staff coming in the each offices, and if there are 100 offices in that commercial complex, you are going to have a huge number of people start using the lift and like, the common areas and the toilets and all those things. So in this situation, like, of course, it is very difficult to uh, keep yourself and build an immune system for yourself in those commercial premises and office area. Then what people should do that case, how they should be, if they have to open their office, if they are like, in a business where they have to manage the operation, like, they cannot manage it from the home, or they have to interact with the people, they have to go in the market, they have to channelize some supply chain operation and distribution or something like that, logistic. So what those people should be doing? Any idea we would like to share with those peoples?
Yeah, I have a very simple idea. The simple idea is that the concept of working from home never existed in our country.
Right.
Whereas in the Western world, or in wherever examples that we quote, everybody was at least 50% or 60% staff used to work from home for at least thrice in a week.
Right.
Right. So now, by default, this practice has come to our country.
Right.
Work from home.
Yeah.
Now, what is happening is that most of the offices are trying to even ensure that they don't waste money on the rentals. They are encouraging employees to work from home. Because one study has come up which says that employees are actually working more number of hours in the at home as compared to what they were working in the office.
Right.
So obviously it's a win-win situation, for the people. And as I said, that alternate staff of 25% of the people can come on a regular basis. But yes, crowding should be avoided at this point in time, at least for the next 6 months.
Right. See, you mentioned a very valid point when I was talking about work from home. I remember in 2000 to 2006, that time I was working with Unilever. And that time in the meetings, we used to discuss how 20% of our staff should, in next 5 years, we should be working from home. That kind of things I remember we used to discuss in our finance forum when we used to have the meeting. You would say it is right. Like, in Western country, they have already started thinking, in a big companies, they have already started thinking that way. But when you see the second point, what you raise, it is also very true that the people's working from home, they are working more hours. Keeping the example of myself, like, I am saving at least 3 to 4 hours of my every day in traveling. And Mumbai, how traveling is like, time wasting activity. And it is frustrating also, but it's a time wasting activity also. You cannot do so. 3 to 4 hours I'm able to save, and my productivity has improved a lot when I operate from my home. But the question I would like to ask you, like, in a city like Mumbai, which is heavily populated, like, 2.5, around 2 crore plus people are there in Mumbai, and most of the people are living in a very smaller houses. Like, this is the real example of few of my member or friend who are co-businessmen. Say they have like, operating small KPOs, small processes. So the people, say, you can say the lower middle class or middle class people, where they have the space at their home from where they can keep the laptop or computer and a desk, and they can sit and they can work from there. Because the female business owner who was my friend, she was saying that she is in words of losing her business, because she told her employee, take the laptops or PCs available at the office to their home and operate from there. So the employee was answering कि सर हमारे मैडम हमारे घर में like you know जगह कहाँ है, मैं हमारे घर में इंटरनेट की कनेक्टिविटी किधर है, hardly we are able to talk and manage from our mobile. That is more than enough. So they are not comfortable working from home at that situation. And see, those kind of employees are huge in number in Mumbai. When we talk about the cities, not only in Mumbai, Pune, Delhi, Bangalore, all big cities, those employees are. We can say about the top professionals, consultants, the business owners, the senior managers. Of course, they can work from home. But what about the masses? And these masses are impacting the business of the individual, and individuals are losing the business, and ultimately it is impacting their individual job also. Like, you know, if they are not able to perform, company will close, then they will lose the job. So considering even that you work from home, we can do it, but it is not going to be practically very possible in a city or country like Mumbai or India, where majority of the people, they have to have an office environment to be productive because of a number of reasons.
Right.
And again, the total factor which comes is that everybody is like, you know, waiting that the day vaccine will come, we will be like, you know, able to get the vaccine, and at least we can start operating in the offices or something like that on priority. So one is the vaccine you have mentioned about the AstraZeneca, which is we are going to produce. Do you think any Indian company who is going to come in this place, and Prime Minister was mentioning around 3 companies' name,
Yeah.
like, you know, they are in front running. So when we see our Indian companies are able to produce this vaccine for corona, which is going to be mass available for the people?
See, the company which is going to really manufacture or will hit the market along with the Oxford vaccine would be Bharat Biotech from Hyderabad.
Right.
And Bharat Biotech has actually collaborated this vaccine through ICMR, which is the Indian Council of Medical Research.
Right.
This is what actually PM Mr. Modi was referring to.
Right.
Now they also have a capacity of almost 25 million doses.
Right.
And obviously, I think they must have also upgraded their facilities, and
Yes.
obviously they would also be producing more number of vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
So that is number 2. Third vaccine that I foresee can come is from Biological E Limited, which is again a Hyderabad-based company.
Right.
And they are also have a capacity of 25 to 30 million doses in a year.
Right.
But there are a few companies in the vaccine space which are ready to fill this, they can manufacture the vaccine provided they get the technology.
Right.
So I think once these 2 companies, Indian companies, will actually come up with the vaccine, then obviously with the government's efforts and all that, possibly that technology can get transferred to these companies, and they in turn can also produce.
Yeah.
So, but even to have the entire population vaccinated, I think it's a Herculean task in India. 130 crore people being vaccinated is not an easy job.
Right.
And second point is, I'll tell you that if you have touched about small spaces, people coming to offices. Sir, even now, flu is such a common element. Right? Now, flu is such a common element. The flu vaccines are available at 300 rupees. How many people take actually?
Nobody.
My simple question is, have you taken a flu shot?
No.
No. So the point is that unfortunately in our country, there is a bhed chal. So when the vaccine, everybody is talking about vaccine. But when the vaccine will finally arrive, how many people will take? Sir, I'll tell you one classic example of a pulse polio program. India it's a world record that India successfully eradicated polio, and thanks to the pulse polio program, which was giving 2 drops to the kids, right from railway station to bus stand and all that. But even that took 20 years to get it eradicated.
Right.
So I don't see that some miracles are going to happen, but yes, I only wish and pray that if the herd immunity gets developed, then even those people who have not been able to afford the vaccines will live healthy. And
Right.
normally, my understanding has been very clear to all my friends, and I would also like to give it to the viewers here. You are lucky if you have not got infected with corona in the first 2 months. Never ever get infected about any pandemic in the first 3 months, because there is no treatment protocols.
Right.
But after now 6 months, you have the drugs available, you have the treatment protocols, you know what's to be done. So actually, all of us will get corona. That is for sure.
Right.
But by the time we will get, it will become a common cold and flu.
Right. Right. That is
So
there.
it is important to take precautions for the first 6 months. We have shown a lot of patience in the first 3-4 months. I
Mhm.
think we should maintain this kind of the patience over the next 3 months,
Mhm.
and hopefully things will get streamlined over the period of next 3 to 5 months.
Yeah, I think we are having a wonderful discussion. Just one question I would like to ask at the end. Like you mentioned, in fact, this corona vaccine should not be becoming like another flu vaccine where you have to take the shots every 6 months. You have seen AIDS is not a new disease. It's a very old disease.
Right.
And still, the whole of the world, they are not able to develop any vaccine for that.
Right.
So, and millions of people are getting infected of that, they are infected of this. And the question came in my mind, if that is a very uh, dangerous disease, and so far people are not able to develop any vaccine for that, an effective one, you can say, so how we can be so guaranteed that although of course it is a very pandemic and whole world is impacted, lot of people has died, in the world, you can see. So of course the whole focus of the all worldwide is on this corona. But again the doubt remains, what is the guarantee? Do you feel that what are the chances it is going to be a really convincing kind of vaccine which is going to come out, or whatever earlier said, it is like that we have to wait and watch for the impact of the medicine which is going to come in interim period, and then we have to wait longer to see how it is going to impact in the long term to the peoples?
My personal views are that it's too early to comment,
Yeah,
because the vaccine hasn't hit the market.
right,
It hasn't been injected to the healthy individuals.
right,
It is only after 1 year or 2 years we'll come to know what is the efficacy of the vaccine.
right, right, right.
So everything is like, I am telling you, there is a survey which came up in Times of India a couple of days back.
Mm-hmm,
In the month of March, April, the number of cases were less.
mm-hmm.
The fear of corona was huge. Whereas now the number of cases are more, but the fear of corona has come down.
Right.
So I personally feel that the same stands hold true for vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is making tall claims because everybody has their own vested interest.
Right.
Because every time you hear a new story coming in,
Mm-hmm.
because everything is also related to the share market and everything.
True.
But in my opinion, until unless the vaccine comes, until unless it is given to some thousands and thousands of subjects, and if they measure the efficacy, then only we'll be in a position to tell whether the vaccine is working or it's not working.
It is great, talking to you, Rupesh. It is really wonderful insights. We had it for our viewers who are live on Facebook and watching us, and all our members, all our team people who are listening to us. I would like to thank you very much for sharing your insight.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Swarnika.
Gautam. But before I leave this forum, I would like to request all my viewers that over the next couple of months, you will have to maintain the social distancing norms. You will have to wear masks, and you will really need to sanitize yourself. Take these 3 precautions and go out for a morning walk. Everything would be fine.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. And that was quite informative. I'm sure our viewers certainly enjoyed it. I would like to thank everyone who joined us on this live stream. And I would also like to thank Mr. Bhargav for his time and his expertise. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And we'll be back again next week with another corporate leader and another interesting topic. Until then, stay tuned with Navi Mumbai Chamber of Business and Industries and Great Human University. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.